Welcome back everyone to another episode of Mumbles. Today we'll be doing a game review, and today we'll be reviewing Battle Chasers, NightWar. Now this is based off the comic Battle Chasers, and it is a very nice RPG game. The basic premise of this game starts out like this. Gilly is off chasing and trying to find her lost father. Along the way, something shoots her ship down, and her friends must figure out a way to get off this. Now, as you crash land on this planet, the first order of business is obviously to find your companions. But along the way, you also find that everything is not as it seems on this land, and you will be drawn into combat by many different things. Ultimately, trying to defeat the evil boss that is at the end of this game. I'm not going to give too much away because I think that kind of takes away from the mystique, but that is the basic premise of this game. Now let's talk about the graphics. The graphics in this game are, quite simply, beautiful. It is a beautiful looking game. It is so pretty that you can tell the time and the effort and the care that they put into this game. It is just so refreshing to see an indie game that looks so nice. The soundtrack is just as good, if not better. It is one of the best indie soundtracks I have heard in some time. I was quite amazed. And the controls in this game, you could tell the love and care that they put into those as well. It is a turn-based combat system, but the way that they did it is very on point and intuitive. So all three get good marks. Now let's talk about the gameplay. As I said, the gameplay is nicely done. It is a turn-based RPG game. And there are so many different multiple ways of proceeding through this. Now first off, you do have multiple characters. You can use 3 characters at a time. And you can build these characters up pretty much any way that you want. You can make them into, that tank character. You can do anything you want with them. Obviously, certain characters are meant to be certain things. So, for instance, one character is meant to be a healer. One character is meant to be a tank. But there is different variations of those things that you can put and make and create, which is very cool. Now, talking about the general combat itself, attacks are instant attacks. And by this, I mean, when you attack, they do it instantly. So you hit the attack button and it does it instantly. But they also do multiple things when they attack. So they could debuff an enemy, or they could, poison an enemy or something like that. So they can have multiple things on their attacks. Now there is also spells and other things that you can do. You don't just have to hit someone with a sword. You can cast a spell on them. You can cast healing spells on yourself. You can do all different kinds of things with this game, and the combat system is really the focal point of this game. You can tell, again, the care that they took and the precision that they wanted to make this game. This game is a beautifully made combat game. Now, as I said, this is an RPG game. With it being an RPG game, you can expect to find loot, you can expect to find treasure, you can expect to buy things, sell things. You can expect to do all the things that you can do in a normal RPG game. So, find that nice loot, find all that stuff. It's all around and scattered throughout the lands for you to find. So, it is a standard kind of based RPG game. It is a, like the old style RPG games. That is really what this game's focal point is. And they do it with perfection. Perfection. Perfectiano. Perfection. Now we need to talk about the cons of this game. And there is some cons, unfortunately. The first con is it's a long game. It takes a long time to complete. That's not really a con. I like long games, but maybe some people don't have the time and effort to put into a long RPG. So do keep that in mind. The second con is it does have a weaker story. Once you find your companions and you're going through the game, you'll kind of, in a way, lose what you're doing and why you're doing it. They do a good job in the beginning, but then they don't carry it through the entire game, which was a little disappointing, but overall, not that big of a deal. And finally, the final con is the difficulty in this game. About about stage 3, so world 3 of this, you will find that the bosses or that the enemies suddenly jump up in difficulty. Now this will cause you to grind like normal RPG games. Grinding is not something that I like doing. And by grind, I mean boost your level, work your level, get your level up, level up, level up, level up, level up, level up. So if you're not kind of grinding the whole way through this game, you're going to be in some trouble. Now you can replay dungeons to help, fix this problem, but overall, I just am not a big fan of grinding, so that is a con to me. Really all that's left to talk about is what is this game going to get on our Mumbles review. Without a doubt, this game is a fantastic game. It is one of the top indie games I have played as of late, and I'm just very impressed with it. I'm very impressed that the developer, this is only their first game, And with all that in mind, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. It is still a fantastic game, even if it has some cons. It's a very well-made game. It's got very good graphics, very good soundtrack. If you like old-style RPG games, you're going to love this game. This game is fantastic when it comes to that aspect. Now, granted, it could have a little bit stronger of a story. It could have a little bit stronger. It could have a little bit less of a grinding need. But that's how games were made back then. And so I really can't complain on that part. I can't downgrade it because of that. So 8 out of 10. And yeah, guys, this has been another episode of Mumbles. I want to thank y'all so much for joining me. Please smack that subscribe button, smack the like button, smack all those buttons. And I will see you guys all in the next video. Bye, everyone. Take care.